Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Anime Podcast. This week we've watched Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie.
Oh.
Sword Art Online Season 2.
Season 3, actually. It has guns.
Season 12.
Yes.
We watched Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie.
Yeah, we did.
So, first things first, what do you guys think I think about this show?
I don't think it's in your top 10, but I think you really like it.
I think you really like it too. I'd say like a 7 or an 8.
I'd say an 8.
I gave it a 6.
Alright.
Okay.
It's like
That makes sense. I understand
slightly,
it.
very slightly above average for me. Yeah. We'll talk about it more. We'll get into it.
We'll talk about how average this is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, that's right. I have to explain it.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I apologize in advance. This is one of those ones where it's hard for me to take notes because I'm constantly going, well, nothing really happened here. Well, nothing really happened here.
That's fine, because
Oh,
we'll
it's
have
the end
a
of the episode.
pretty big discussion afterwards, because I have lots to say.
Okie dokie.
Let's
So,
go.
we start off in some sort of home, and some an amazing MILF is like, "Hey, you're gonna be late for school, my dude." And we introduce to our protagonist, and who I called Protag. I know he has a name, but I was like, I'm calling him Protag out of spite.
Oh, I'd call him Protag too, don't worry.
Oh, cool. So he's gonna be like, he's getting ready for school. Okay, school kid, something or other. His mum's like, hey, don't trip on a rock. Don't take any unnecessary journeys. Don't get shit on by a bird. Don't get hit by a train. All that sort of stuff. And his dad's like, hey, sport, have a good day. Anyway, I didn't care because I don't like the dad. The MILF is where it's at. So immediately as he opens the door, a timer starts, and when it hits like 7 seconds and 41 milliseconds, he immediately trips on a stone. Oh, boing. That's what she told him not to do. Oh, gosh. Anyway, he meets up with Shikimori, the title character, who I called Pink, because she has pink hair, and she's like sparkling, and everyone else around her is like, oh my god, she's so amazing. And he's like, sometimes my girlfriend isn't cute. And she's like, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? He's like, sometimes you're cool. And then the intro starts.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty nice intro.
Yeah, the intro's nice.
We cut to them making it to school, where they meet up with some other friends, and they're all like, oh my god, I hope we're all in the same class together. And turns out they are. Anyway, it's the first year of high school, and shit happens in the class, and one important thing that happens is they have blackboard dusters. It goes flying, defying the laws of physics, and nearly hits protagonist because he seems to just be a naturally unlucky dude, always getting into shit with bad luck and stuff. Oh, doy! And so the duster nearly hits him in the head, but then at the last second, Pink punches it, and it hits her in the head instead. Sure. And he's like, oh my god, you saved me. Oh, I love you. And she's like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, because I gotta clean up. And then some rich kids come up to him and like, hey, she's really cool. You're useless and don't do anything. Ha 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 ha. She comes back and is like, let's go, honey. And he's like, okay. And then they leave, and she death stares the rich kids as they leave, and they're like, I hope she didn't hear us. Oh no, she heard us. Anyway, all their friend group goes bowling, and she reveals her neck to him, and Deer and I had a whole bit about being Southern Belles, about the
Oh my lord, my
preposterous it
vapors.
was.
I don't really
my
understand. A lot of anime do like the back of the neck thing, and I don't.
I get it, because, like, the back of
Yeah.
the neck, you can, like, the back of the neck can be a very intimate area. Like, kissing the nape is a thing.
Yes.
And, like, it's just, like, when there's such an emphasis put on it, it's like, oh my god, the back of the neck, her hair goes there. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's borderline,
it's
Victorian, like, oh my god, I saw her ankle!
Exactly, which is why we did the bit. So the friend group are pretty shit at bowling, except for Yellow, who I'm calling Yellow. I haven't even mentioned her at all. She's the best character. She's just everyone here. She does the Tom Haverford Ron Swanson bowling maneuver, where you walk up slowly with the ball in between your legs and then just chuck it forward.
Yeah.
And you get a strike immediately. And everyone's like, what? The ball was so slow, but it got a strike.
I'm pretty sure if you look at the board after that, because it shows the board briefly, and I'm pretty sure every other thing after that, she, like, sucked ass.
Yeah. Then after her goes Pink, and she's like, oh my god, what should I do? And they're like, are you gonna be cool? Or are you gonna show up your boyfriend? Or are you gonna be, like, cute? Because cute girls aren't good at bowling. And then her boyfriend's like, you got this, I believe in you. And she's like, okay. And then I say she bowls. It's very clear that they reference, like, professional bowlers. And a professional bowler takes over her body and bowls perfect game. And everyone in the bowling alley is like, oh my god, this person knows how to bowl. Whoa! Yeah! Yeah, someone knows how to bowl!
She apparently never bowled before this, by the way.
Did she? Did they say that?
Yes.
Did they?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
I don't remember them saying that.
They were like, you've never been bowling or whatever.
I thought he had never been bowling.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking for some reason.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The bowling's over and they all part their ways. Protag walks Pink home and he's like, wait a minute, the loser had to get, like, a gift for the winner. And she's like, oh, just walk with me, that's the gift I want. He's like, but we do that every day. And she's like, yeah, I know. I want to do it. Haha. And then he's like, hey, did it hurt, by the way, when those guys were teasing you? And he's like, why? Like, they're right. I don't really bring anything to the table in this relationship. And then a sign falls off the roof and nearly fucking crushes and kills him instantly. And I was like, man, if that actually killed him, and, like, the rest of this anime was just her dealing with the grief of him dying, that would have been fucking amazing. That would have been, like, a really good show. But that's not what happened. She turns into a CIA agent and punches the sign away before it crushes him. And he's like, wow, you're like one of those... And then she shushes him and is like, shh, no, don't say that loud. The FBI will hear. And then the show's over.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's like such a rough episode to get through.
There's another episode
All
after
of them
that.
are.
Starts with
I disagree, but anyway. Sorry, go ahead. Episode
like
8.
a filigree.
I will say I did like the blue stuff.
Yeah. So it starts with like a filigree storybook style of a ball, and you're like, ooh, pretty girl. And there's someone we don't know in a black dress, and she's meeting other girls here, and she's like, ah! And Protag is apparently there, and she's like, oh! But then he just goes to talk to some guys. But then Pink runs up and says hi to him before any other girl can say anything, and she's like, oh, I'm sad now. I like Protagonist, and I cannot be with him. And it ends right there. It's Cinderella, basically. Anyway, anime intro. And then there's a cultural festival going on, by the way, and Protag and a blue-haired chick who we called Aqua Kingdom Hearts are chatting about that storybook story, and they're like, blah, 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 and she's like, I'm not girly, so I'm not a part of, like, things like that, like balls and dances, but, like, princess on white horses, I'd kill for that. And Protag is like, wow, I never thought we'd have this conversation just together, like us as friends, it's so nice. And she's like, mm-hmm. And then unrequited love is just palpable in the air. Mullet comes in, which, by the way, the friends so far are Yellow, Mullet, and Gary Oak from Pokemon. That's it. That's all there is.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Mullet comes in, she's like, hey, we have a question for you. And Aqua comes out, and she's like, what the fuck? And Protag is like, okay. And then she steps out for a second, and she's like, hi, what's up? And Aqua's like, listen, I realized that I didn't write the actual notes. Fun. Hi. So basically they no, I got it. They have a system where like they pull numbers and then they have to go around the school and find the numbers of the other person who has like a heart. And Pink basically wants to trade Aqua numbers because Aqua's number is her boyfriend. And she's just like, I just want that number. Like, will you trade me? And she's like, yeah, sure, I guess. But there's like a moment where she like kind of still holds on to it for a second when trying to hand it over. It's very obviously like this hurts. Anyway, Protag's here and he's like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Aqua's like, don't worry about it. You can leave if you want. And he's like, no, I'm professional. I'm gonna stay here the whole time. What the fuck? And then Mullet and Pink hang out in the library, watching Protagonist and Aqua have a chat. And then it cuts back and forth with the Cinderella montage again for extra metaphors everywhere, like a sprinkling of salt. In an open wound, honestly. But now it's time to go, and Aqua is gonna fucking go cry. Because she's gonna go work at a cafe that she also has to work at in the festival. And everyone's like, wow,
is it? Yeah.
She's so cool and pretty. And everyone in the cafe is like, she's so fucking cool. Why can't I not date her? She's so hot. And she could have anyone. And she has such nice tits. And then inside
I got the vapors.
But then inside Aqua, Kingdom Hearts is fucking crying. And also hearing people talk about wanting to date her and what the fuck is up with that. And she's like, I gotta go for a bit. Don't worry about it. I'll be right back. And then she goes and steps out for a bit and talks about how she's upset that Pink showed up at all. And she needs to just stop feeling things for Protagonist to make it easier. But then Pink decides to, like, go to the roof and be like, here, you can have the number back because it was unfair of me. Because I literally know that you like him and the whole situation. Like, I understand. And she's like, cut back to a flashback real quick of the bookshelf in the library falling over and Aqua and Protag cleaning up and her being like, it's not your fault, it's just a fluke. Like, you're good. I like you for you. And Pink is like, I am literally kind of the only person that has realized that you like him. And she's like, okay, listen, I'm not a bitch. I get it. And I'm not going to be mean to you, so just take the number back. And Aqua's like, I don't need it. It's just a piece of paper. Also, I'm sorry for doing that to you at all and hurting you in any form or fashion. But while doing all this, she's just, like, crying and sobbing, and she's like, why am I crying? What? No, these are supposed to be inside. They are supposed to say inside. And she feels like she's...
Bury the emotions!
Bury them! And she feels like she's betraying Protagonist and his feelings because he's also her friend. She's like, why do I have to have all these feelings at all? Which makes Pink just rip up the number and fucking hug her. She's like, don't apologize. I get it. I know you're sacrificing your feelings for me and for him, and I'm very grateful and happy about that. You're so nice of a person. You're amazing. And you should enjoy the feelings you have while you have them, and enjoy living in fucking pain. And then Aqua continues to cry for a bit. But wait, I've calmed down now. Shouldn't you get back to Protagonist because he's gonna cry like a baby when you're not around, I guess? And then she's like, oh god. And we see Pink run down the fake Cinderella stairs to Protagonist, and Aqua's like, wow, I'm kind of gay for her. And now it's the last day of the festival, which is like a weird hard cut. And it's also Pink's birthday, and Protagonist has a gift for her. The cafe today is super...
Yeah, it's a weird cut.
Yeah, the cafe today is super fucking busy, and then they all celebrate that they finished, and none of the teams that we know the characters of, like, did well sales-wise. Apparently some, like, fortune teller did the best. But then...
Yeah, there was, like, an ongoing gag through the festival episodes that was actually pretty silly, of, like, just a shitty fortune teller booth, and, like, it starts off, and he's just sitting there, like, one person walks up, and he, like, tells them their fortune, and then they're like, whoa, you're right. And then as the weekend goes on, it'll, like, randomly just show him with, like, more and more people at the booth, and it's, like, just this really shitty little, like...
Was that what that was? It wasn't the cafe, it was the fortune... Okay.
Yeah, she was it for, like, a second, where it's just, like, there's a ton of people outside of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, they're all having a good time, and having the thing that I've always wanted to try, but have never been able to try. I forget what it's called. And then they want to go to the park afterwards because... What?
Sorry, no, I don't want to say this on the podcast.
Okay, then they want to go to the park afterwards and be blushy about it because he's like, I just want to take you to the park. And then they go to the park, and he offers her, can you type it in the fucking chat at least, please? He offers her the birthday present, and it's also their anniversary, I guess, so she's like, I love it, even though she has no idea what it is yet. Protag asks her about the other day when she was kind of off, and she's just like, don't worry about it. And they just kind of shrug it off. And Protag...
Sorry, dear, just saw what I wrote.
And the gift is a heart necklace that he then puts on her and goes,
"Aw, that's cute.
I'm always on your side no matter what." And Pink is like, never change because you're so good and I don't want you to drift away. Which is one of the shittiest things you can ever fucking tell a person.
Mm-hmm.
Full fucking stop. Don't do it. People change. It's in
Never
human
tell
nature
someone
to
not
change. Like, we are made to...
If you wanna say something like it, but you wanna say actually something that is good, say, instead of saying I never want you to change, say I want to be there with you as you go through your journey in life.
Yeah.
Like something along the lines of like, I want to change with you and grow.
Something.
It's just fucking selfish to never want someone to change.
There's better ways to word it, basically. Anyway, Protag is basically like, nah, I've changed, bitch. You changed me. I'm becoming a better person. I'm getting stronger and shit. And Pink starts to cry because she's like, I want the same thing as you. And then he's like, it's okay. I'll take care of you. I got it. But then she goes, no matter what hot chick comes by, you're mine forever, bitch. And then he's like, oh God, I'm really tired all of a sudden. I need to go to sleep. And she's like, wait, hold on. Do you want to see my neck again? And then he calls her cute. And that's it.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. The
No, there's
CAA
one more.
comes in and
I'm sorry, Dan, there's one
I
more.
was hoping everyone would forget that there's 3 episodes.
Episode 10.
Okay, this one I have the least amount of notes for.
Really?
So,
Interesting.
yeah, like, a lot of it's said in, like, 2 words of, like, this happens.
Yeah. I guess event-wise,
so-
yeah, there's not a ton.
So, we load in, and there's some sort of, like, year level, like, carnival, sports carnival, that's what it's called. It's like a sports carnival,
festival?
and they're picking... Yeah, sorry, we call them carnivals here.
Oh.
Yeah, we call them sports carnivals. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, they're doing like a lottery system to pick who does what, and they're up to the mixed relay, the relay race. And the boys and girls are picking, oh no, Protag got picked to be in the relay. Oh no, Yellow got picked to be in the relay too. And then everyone's like, oh, well, we'll just do it with you too. And then Pink, like some other rando gets picked to be in the relay, but then Pink's like, hey, I'll swap with you, because I'll do it. I'll take the bullet for you. Are you watching Protag? I'm taking the bullet for her so I can be with you. And everyone in the class is like, oh my god, she's way too overprotective. Haha. And then, but Protag doesn't even see that she does it. So, womp womp.
She gets very
Anyway, so now the
upset
whole
about it.
friend group's doing the relay together. And they're like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna practice. And Yellow's like, I will slow you down. I don't run. I'm slow. And everyone's like, oh yeah, but protagonist is like unlucky. He's gonna trip on his shoes. They're gonna go flying. Anyway, so they go to practice. They go to practice running, and yep, exactly as predicted. Yellow is really slow and not good at running, and gets huffy and puffy very quickly. And also, same with protagonist. He's not the best at running either. Uh-oh, they're gonna lose the relay. They stay back quite a while to practice together. And they're like, why are we doing this? And Yellow's just like, I'm not doing it for you, bitch. I'm doing it for myself. Fuck you. You can get fucked for all I care. She doesn't say that, but she does say she's doing it for herself. Anyway, it's the day of the race. The carnival comes, and events happen and things. And The most important thing that happens is that Yellow does like a ball throwing contest where they have to throw balls up into a high net. It's really weird. But all the other girls can't throw the ball into the net, but she does. She grabs a whole heap and throws them all up, but she's really slow at picking up all the balls. So she would have won if she had more stamina. Oh, well. And then Pink talks to her and is like, you did a good job. And she's like, oh my god, we're gonna win today. Let's win the race. And they're all like, what? Whoa, oh my god. What? Anyway, so the race happens, and spiky-haired girl is in first place.
Mullet.
And she's running real good. She runs so fast that she is actually in first place out of everyone. And then immediately hands the baton over to Yellow, who fucks it up! She trips, she falls, scrapes her knee, loses all of that progress, and back to 6th place.
Woo.
But then Protagonist is like, come on, just a little bit more, like we practiced, we're nearly there. And Yellow gets up and runs and is like, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is the fastest I've ever run. Oh my god.
And it's like a brisk
the baton off
jog,
to the protagonist.
honestly.
Yeah, but she, it's the fastest she's ever run.
Yeah.
She hands off to protagonist, who does okay, but then, oh no, he slips. His shoe goes flying, and he's like, but wait, Yellow wants me to win, and Pink wants me to win. I can do this. So he at the last second, he throws his other shoe off as well, so he doesn't trip. He's just shoeless now, so he's running on his socks, and everyone's like, what? Nani?
Can we also talk about how there's now shoes on the track for other people to trip over?
Yeah, other people are gonna trip over them. And then he hands off to Pink, who fucking speeds across, because she's like, I'm gonna fucking win. Everyone wants to win, so I'm gonna win. And she catches up on the ground that they lost, and is about to hand over to Gary, and Gary's like, oh god, she is fucking terrifying. She wants to win. Everyone wants to win. If I don't win this, she's gonna fucking kill me. So he grabs a baton, and he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna do it. And then they win. And they're like, oh, we did it. We actually won. And Yellow turns around and is like, hey, thanks, guys. I actually enjoyed this. Even though I said that I wouldn't, because I'm an indoorsy person. But I enjoyed it because I did it with you guys. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah, so I think that episode is like the best episode in the series, easy. I think 10 is like a great episode and a not so great show. I also really like the first half of 8. The second half of 8 fucking sucks, but I love the first half of 8. I
completely agree.
Yeah, I remember when I was like watching the show, because like the build up to it's like not bad, right? And I was like, it kind of depends on what they do with this. And then like episode 8 starts and it's like the fairy tale comparison, and I was like, okay. And then the first half of episode 8 I was like, this is good. Like, this is like actually really good. And then the second half of episode 8 happened and I was like, okay, I'm bored again. And I came to realize this show, I do want to start by saying, manga readers out there, I don't read the manga, I've just looked up the art and stuff. Manga readers out there do say the beginning of Shikimori isn't good. But it gets really good later on. And I don't know how much of the anime would really cover that.
Is she an FBI agent?
Like, she secretly a CIA agent?
Her backstory, I was like actually kind of pissed off, because we'll talk about it. But anyway, so thing I realized with Shikimori was all of the best parts of Shikimori were things involving not the two main characters. Because the first episode that was like good was it was either 3 or 5, I want to say, and it's literally an episode where like for the good part of it, like Izumi, the main character, is asleep, and it's about his mom like talking to Shikimori.
Oh, why did we watch that?
I know. yeah, it was like centric around her, but it's about her like
never
talking to.
So hurt.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that episode's like about her talking to Shikimori, and she's basically like, you know, Izumi has, like, a lot of really bad luck, and, like, you know, it tends to, like, follow him or whatever, you know, but it would mean, like, we like you a lot, it would mean a lot to us, like, if you continued to give him a chance despite that, basically. And Shikimori's, like, there's, like, this whole moment, like, Shikimori's, like, you know, I think Izumi's, like, really brave and, like, whatever. It's a good scene, basically. And, his mom just has, like, a really solid, like, it's like a half of an episode. And then it just goes back to them, and it's like, wow, every episode with just them, it's just like, all the parts with just them, I am just so fucking bored, I don't care. Like, yeah, we get it.
Like the way I described it. It's like they are the perfect couple that you like. They're the side characters in a story where the main character does not have a great upbringing.
Yeah, and
has, like, not the greatest life, but they're still persevering. And then you look at those side characters who are like, they're perfect. Everything's great about them.
Yeah, the thing that annoys me is it's supposed to be the case of, you know, Izumi's this clumsy little fucking bishy boy who has, like, this, like, cool girlfriend, and
that he
like,
doesn't deserve.
She helps him on the outside, and he helps her, like, on the inside. You know what I mean? It's like, she prevents him from getting injured, but him, like, being with her...
How does he, like, help her?
Listen, they try to explain it, okay? And...
Because, like, like, in the scene where he's like, but they're right, like, I don't bring anything. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's not a self-depreciative, like, oh, I don't deserve your love. It's like, no, he literally does nothing.
Shikimori's backstory... Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get into it. Hold on. Let's talk about what I like before we get into what I don't like, because what I don't like heavily outweighs what I like, okay?
Okay.
So, the only reason I gave this a 6 is because there are episodes in it that are way better than the rest of the show. I
thought that was going to end it. Huh? I thought that was going to end it. I gave this a 6 because there are episodes in it.
Yeah, there are episodes in it. No, there are episodes, like, I think episode 10 is, like, a 9 out of 10 episode in a fucking average-ass show. And I probably would have given this, like, yes, a 4 or a 5, like, if it weren't for the couple, like, the parts of it that are good, which are the friends. The friends are good. I would have given this, like, a much, much, much lower score. But as far as, like, the person that I do like, so you have Kamiya in episode 8, and I've already, like, obviously we've already talked about this briefly, but I think, because normally I would hate the trope of, like, oh, the other popular girl also likes the main guy, but I feel like they pulled this off really well, because the development wasn't about, like, why these girls fall for him. It was more about, like, her issues with herself, right? Like, the fact that she's, like, I act like this cool, like, and it's shown through the series, like, she's kind of, like, this emotionally distant person. Like, her fellow, like, teammates, because she's on the volleyball team, her teammates, like, try to ask her, hang out with them and stuff, and she's always like, no, like, it's fine going without me, and, like, it's because she's always putting on this, like, act, and it's, like, tiring to her, right? It's tiring to act like the cool girl all the time that everyone just sees as, like, the prince girl of the school, quote-unquote. It's, like, she's cool, and that's basically all there is to her. She's cool and pretty, you know? And so, like, the reason she falls for Izumi is because he gives her, like, a genuine compliment that is, like, it's not about, like, her outward appearances. It's not about her being cool or pretty. It's, like, you're nice. Like, you're a very nice person. And she's like, that's not something she gets complimented on frequently, because she's put up this wall and doesn't get to know people. And it's like, okay, this makes sense. This is good. And then, like, you know, her whole confrontation with Shikimori, I think, is really good. I think, like, you know, Shikimori being like, you don't have to forget your feelings, you're allowed to feel those feelings, is good. And, then Shikimori being, like, the next person to be like, you're a nice person. Like, I like all those aspects. I love that Kamiya is, like, you know, you're, like, an honest girl, you're a good girl, and I'm glad you're with Izumi. You know, I'm not honest to myself. And it's, like, she's kind of learning how to be honest with herself, right? You see her development later on. Nekozaki, the one that you guys called Mullet, like, later on, at a later point, like, invites her to hang out with them, and she actually says yes, and, like, little things like that. Where it's, like, she's slowly starting to, like, open up more, and willing to be more of herself. I think she's great. I think Kami is, like, one of the best characters in the show.
Yeah, I think it would, like, I think the biggest thing for me is, like, this show doesn't deserve that.
Exactly,
like,
right?
yeah.
No, and I agree.
It deserves to be in a way better show.
I think that, yeah, no, I agree. it makes me mad that it's like there's these great moments that are trapped in this fucking show. And then episode 10, I went into it, like, basically not expecting anything. I was like, oh, a Hachimitsu episode, cool. I, like, love episode 10. I love, like, almost everything about episode 10. Like, it's a story about, it's, like, a girl who, you know, is being forced to do something she doesn't like, that she, like, kind of learns to like because she's with her friends. And, like, that's relatable as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things where it's like, oh, I don't like this, but if I'm with friends, it's, like, fine. I do that all the time. Like, with games, there's, like, games where it's like, I would never...
anime.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's,
it's
like...
This fucking podcast
yeah,
is that.
it's almost like this podcast, yeah. But yeah, it's, like, that's something that I do all the time where I'll be like, I don't like this game, but if my friends are playing it, like, I'll play it with them, whatever. But I love the development of Hachimitsu in this episode, starting off with, you know, oh, I don't want to do this, I'm just going to hold everybody back. And then she sees that Izumi, who had also held everybody back, is actually trying, and she's like, well, fuck, maybe I'll try too. So she, like, kind of starts trying herself, and, you know, as she goes, she's, like, kind of building up, like, it's like her friends are relying on her, and she's never the one that is relied on, right? And it's like, she wants to do good for them. She doesn't want to hold them back. I love the little scene after the ball toss whenever Shikimori's like, you did great, and it's like a smug face. Like, she's like so fucking happy. Like, Hachimitsu's over here with like a fucking praise kink. She's like, oh my god. Like, and then, but yeah, and then you get the scene of her being like, let's win. And everyone's like, oh my god. And it's like, Hachimitsu would never fucking say that. Like, that's just out of character for her. And it's like, this moment. And
that's why this anime is bad.
Yeah.
It's out of character.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, then the actual race starts, and Hachimitsu's obviously, like, the beginning of her run is really silly. Like, she's like, I'm melting, and her face is all, like, fucking stupid. And then she's like, I don't know, there's so many, like, lines right there that I like. Like, I really love when she's like, I'm getting past already, my legs are running faster than they've ever ran before, like, why am I getting past, you know? And then she gets flustered and trips or whatever. She, like, stumbles, like, she's like, oh god, I still have the baton, like, what do I do? And she sees, like, her friend, and she's like, right, let me finish what I started. And you get, like, that moment of her, like, handing off the baton, looking very, like, I don't even want to say serious, like, hopeful, I guess is more of a word for it. I don't really know how to describe her expression. It's a good expression. You know, and then, there's obviously, like, Izumi's little part with him kicking off his shoes, whatever. Shikimori's part, whatever. Once again, those two are the parts I don't care about in this, like, at all. It's like, oh, Shikimori's gonna get the baton. Oh, okay, she's gonna get in first place. But she didn't get in first place, and I was glad they didn't do that, because I thought for sure, when I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, they're gonna hand Shikimori the baton, and she's gonna, like, get into first place by a long shot, and then they're just gonna ignore the anchor, yeah. But no, it ends up actually falling on the anchor, and he gets it, and I love his moment of, like, you know, because he's kind of not taking it seriously, and then he's like, no, all of my friends are actually, like, trying. Like, I'm gonna win this. Yeah. And the moment when he crosses the line, and it's, like, a freeze frame on Hachimitsu. Like, it freeze frames, like, on everybody in that moment. It's, like, the second that he crosses the line first. It shows everybody. And it's, like, everyone looks excited, but it just shows, like, the back of Hachimitsu's head, like, and it's just, like, the framing and everything, you can just tell it's, like, kind of, like, a shock, but also kind of, like, a relief, you know? And then, like, the ending of it, like, her being, like, my friends are the best, and I'm, like, I have friends that I can be proud of. It's just, like, the episode's great. Like, it has, like, the strong, like, start, it gets to the end point where it's, like, she's come, like, kind of full circle at this point. Like, it's a good, contained episode. And I think it's a really strong episode standalone. I think it works a lot better if you, like, know the characters, especially, like, Hachimitsu and stuff beforehand. But, like, it's a good contained episode. And I was, like, pissed after I was done watching it, because I was like, why can't the rest of the show be like this? Like, why do they have one episode that is just, like, and by this point I had seen episode 8, like, the first half of that, and 7, I was like, why do they have good shit buried underneath this not good shit? It's dumb. Yeah, I don't know, it just makes me so mad. And then you have fucking, like I said, the main characters where it's, like, supposed to be this thing. So Shikimori's backstory, they kind of allude to it through the whole thing. And in the opening, you see, like, the shots of, like, Shikimori, like, fighting as a kid. And you see, like, Izumi, like, praying at the shrine. It's like, ooh, what's this about, you know? And then you get the backstory, and it's like, okay, sure. Like, Izumi prays at the shrine because he's like, it's literally just, he's, like, has his fucking bad luck, and he's like, please, I don't want to, like, rub this off on everybody forever, basically. And then Shikimori's backstory is literally that she joined karate because her brother did, and she was, like, close to her brother growing up, and she got really fucking good at it. And then her brother quit karate, and she was like, that sucks. I guess I'll just stick with it for now. And then she read a romance manga, and then she said, oh, you know what? Actually, I want to do this. I want to be, like, a girl who falls in love, and I want my significant other to call me cute. And that's it. And I was like, are you for real? Like, and then she meets Izumi, and she has to do, like, she's like, oh, I'm going into a new school, like, I'm gonna go take these entrance exams, and his, like, ticket for the exam get caught in a tree, like, from the wind. So she's like, oh, no one's around to see this, I'll just climb the tree real quick. And he's like, oh, you're so cool. And she's like, okay, bye. And then they end up in the same class together. And it's like, okay, cool. Notice how every time that he thought she was cute, he never said it out loud, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, supposed to be, like, a big thing when he calls her cute. And it's like, then don't have him even think it. Like, it just makes it stupid. Like...
You know what this show reminds me of? It's like fucking boiled chicken and steamed vegetables.
Yeah.
The blandest of fucking bland.
I mean, you can boil chicken, but you have to season it, you have to add things to it.
No seasoning.
Yeah, exactly.
No seasoning. When I say boiled chicken, I mean white person boiled chicken.
Oh, yeah,
There's nothing on it. It's just chicken boiled. Steamed vegetables. But someone sneezed a bit of paprika onto the plate afterwards. So there's, like, little bits of, oh shit, there's actual flavor here. But it's on this fucking awful plate. So.
Yeah, and it's, like, it's so infuriating. Like, there's just, like, I feel like there's so much more he could have done. And with all the alluding to, like, oh, Shikimori's, like, what's up with her? And that's all it is. It's like, okay. The final episode, so, beforehand I was like, oh, I don't know what episode to show, because it kind of, like, will guide the conversation more, right? And I was like, do I show 2 episodes that I like, or do I show the final episode? And I ended up choosing 2 that I liked. The final episode is they go to fucking Disneyland, basically. Because they're like, oh, let's go on a date. They go to a restaurant where they had reservations, and they're like, oh, sorry, we lost your like, we accidentally sat someone else there. But here, I have a solution, and they take them to, like, the super fancy section.
The most romantic.
Yeah. And then the whole thing is Shikimori, like, saw the ad for the thing, and she saw, like, two people kissing, and she's like, I want to do that. Because, spoilers, they haven't kissed yet. So, they end up going on, like, a boat thing out in the middle of this, like, lake, and all of the lights turn off. Because, like, the power went out because Izumi's bad luck, haha. And they have, like, this moment of, like, oh, haha, like, never leave me, blah, blah, I love you, whatever. And then, like, she, like, kisses him on the cheek. And that's, like, the climactic ending. Like, afterwards, all the friends are like, oh my god, did you guys kiss?
Is this show Mormon?
It should be.
Like the emphasis on her neck,
Yeah.
them being so fucking bland, nothing happens, and the climax of the show is a fucking kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
And, like, all the backstories are bland, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is something interesting? No. Is this show Mormon?
Yeah, I fuck, who knows? But yeah, it's just, like, such an upsetting show. Because it's funny, me going into the final episode, I was like, oh, like, is this gonna be, like, another good episode? Because it's, like, normally the last episode is. Like, even in, like, just pretty standard shows, the last episode's normally, like, you leave it, like, yeah, it's pretty good, you know what I mean? Like, that was a good final episode. But no, it was, like, trying to be, but I just don't give a fuck, man. Like...
I'll be honest, this has completely changed how I was gonna
Oh, really?
grade this.
Yeah, because it's like... Man, yeah, all of the side characters are good. They do a great job of building the side characters, and anytime you have a story that focuses around the side characters, or, like, I guess I should say secondary characters, they're more than side, but anytime they, like, have, like, here's an episode that focuses on secondary character, it's, like, really good, and they're so fleshed out.
It's like, wow, I wish it was
personality
focused on
and
this.
yeah,
instead.
yeah. And then, yeah, you have the main couple, and it's just kind of like, like, okay, I don't know. Just kind of, like, completely fucking average at best. I'm trying to think if there's, like, literally, I think there's, like, one scene in the show involving the main couple being, like, romantic that I actually liked. And even then, I don't even think I, like, loved it or anything. I think it was just kind of like, oh, okay, that was nice. And the rest of it was just kind of, like, the same shit. Also, like, by the end of the show, like, his bad luck really isn't even that prominent anymore, like, which I guess is good, but it was also, like, it was, like, the biggest thing he had going for him, you know what I mean? It was like, here's your character
They had to
trait,
balance it out.
take it away
More
now.
interesting things were happening, so they had to make sure the show didn't get too interesting by making other things bland.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
telling you, this show is Mormon propaganda.
Yeah, honestly.
Probably.
But yeah, so...
Season 2 starts with, like, actually, you know what's gonna... It is Mormon propaganda, because you know what's gonna happen?
What?
He's... I'll fucking crack the code. He's gonna go to the blue-haired girl, and he's gonna be like, I have a solution to the fact that you love me, but I love pink. I read this book, and it's given me an idea. This is Mormon propaganda.
Shit. You might be onto something. You might be onto
Shit.
something. But yeah, so, great side characters, great secondary characters. Wish that, the main characters were even a little bit better. 'Cause yeah, man, it's just like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, it's one of those cases of, anytime something is going wrong and Shikimori steps up, Shikimori is going to fix the problem because she is cool and perfect. And
she is perfect, nothing's wrong with her,
Yeah.
she's amazing.
And
she's
anytime
amazing.
Shikimori is having any issues or doubts, Izumi is going to be there to fix that for her. Which I think can work as a concept if you have those things fail from time to time. But they don't.
Yeah, you just
ever.
need this to be written by someone who has actually written something before.
Yeah, it's just kind of like... And like I said, it's so weird to me the other characters are so good. Like, they're all literally all of them are fleshed out and, like, characters. And I don't understand what happened here. Like, it's not even, like, a case of, the main character, like, you're experiencing the other characters through the main character. Because I think that can be done super well. I mean, fuck, that's basically what Madoka is. You know, like, if the main characters were more of, like, a vessel for us to experience the situations of the other characters, it would be different. But it's, like, not that.
No,
so,
it's not that.
And, I mean, maybe it does get better in the manga. Maybe the manga gets good like people say it does. I don't know.
You know who says it gets good?
Who?
Mormons.
Yeah, you're right. It's the fucking Mormons. But yeah, it's like, maybe shit happens where it's like, here's good content. Like, here's the main characters actually becoming more characters than what they fucking currently are. You know? Or maybe, like, their personalities actually bring issues or something. But that's, I don't know. Maybe there will be a season. If there's a season 2, I'll watch it. Just because I'm like, it's one of those I'm like curious about it now, right? And I like the side characters. If season 2 gives me if season 2 is exactly the same quality as this one, right? But gives me another couple episodes that are like really fucking solid, it'll be worth it to me. Like, if I have like a couple things that I can pull away and be like, those were good. Or even if I have things that I can be like, this would have been good if this would have been different. As long as I, like, come out of it with, like, I don't know, I guess thoughts of some fucking sort, I'll be fine.
Any thoughts at all?
Yeah, like, if it's something that... Because I do, like, enjoy watching things where I'm like, this could have been good, like, what went wrong? And I think this kind of falls into that. But it also has some good episodes where I'm like, okay, that was actually worth it. And I think if season 2 had that, I would probably watch it. I would at least give season 2 a shot. And because I'm curious, is because everyone's like, the manga is like so much better later on. It makes me curious, like, does it actually get better? I want to know. But I don't know if it will get a season 2. I really don't know how it did. I'm gonna be real. I haven't looked into the, Japanese sales.
I think it did really well in Utah.
Jesus Christ. You're probably right. They should rename it to Shikimori's Not Just a Mormon.
Yes.
There's the new title. We got it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Ugh.
So,
Anyway.
what do you guys think of this?
I put it at a 4 because I liked some of the side characters, and that was it.
Okay, fair.
I was gonna give it a 4 for basically the same reason, but then you told me what happens in the rest of it, and it's now a 1.
Oh, really?
I was like, okay, this is the picture I have of this anime. I'm going to extrapolate like 2 versions of this anime. Cynically, what I think it'll be based on what I've seen, and optimistically, what I think it'll be. And then I'll basically go in the middle, but try and be optimistic and assume that's what the anime is basically going to be like, and be like, okay, that's pretty okay. But then, the way you described what actually happens was so close to what I cynically predicted.
Yeah.
That, I have to give it, like, we'll find out that this is actually money laundering. Like, it's not bad, it's not terrible, it's just nothing. And it's like, why? It could be something. There are glimpses of something in here.
Yeah.
But it's just so nothing. It's like,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, like I said, I really, really want to know
It's pure boiled chicken.
If the manga actually gets better. Like, I actually really am curious, like...
Blink twice if the Mormons have you hostage, Spooky.
You won't be able to see me blink regardless.
That means she's blinking.
Dear,
you need to go save Spooky.
Do I have to do this again? Why can't you do it this time?
God damn it, Spooky's been captured by the Mormons again.
Spooky's been kidnapped by the Mormons again. Caleb. Spooky's been captured by the Mormons again.
We
We'll
gotta
give
go
you a
get...
box of Cheez-Its.
That I'll steal.
We'll get you 2 boxes of Cheez-Its.
Mormons have Spooky held up in jungle gyms.
God. But anyway. Yeah,
no.
so...
1 out of 10, it's Mormon propaganda.
4 out of 10. I like the chick with the mullet. I like Aqua Kingdom Hearts, and I like the MILF that we got to see.
Wow, you don't like Hachi? What about Hachimitsu? What about us? What the fuck? That's fucked up.
I don't like looking in mirrors.
I can't believe you hate Spooky.
I don't like looking in mirrors.
Hachimitsu was like one of my
vampire?
favorite girls of that season. She aired in the same season as Yor from Spy Family, and who were my other ones that season? Aharan? I don't remember. She was one of the girls that I liked the most, though. I was like, wow. Neat.
Oh, so this was like this year, was
it? Yeah, this was like last season.
Mm-hmm.
This is like new as fuck.
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad I don't remember seeing anything about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw like people like I said, the thing I saw the most the thing I saw the most were manga readers being like, yeah, the beginning is not that good. It's like, okay, cool. I saw some people talk about it, but yeah, not a shit ton. It got a lot of hype before it came out. I think people were expecting something different, which fair.
All I'm seeing on Twitter is people doing like, oh wait, that screen cap's from this? The who is that hot girl? That's your girlfriend?
Wait, what?
The one that's like, who is that hot girl? And then someone next to him's like, dude, chill, that's your girlfriend.
Oh, that actually happens in the anime.
This?
It happens in episode 2.
Oh, okay, that's the only thing I've seen of this. Everything, okay, that makes sense. But, I don't know, anything I'm seeing right now on Twitter, because I'm just scrolling through, I'm like, have people actually talked about this? Are just like, boop, like, fucking people being like, here's the anime character of the day, or like people redrawing over like memes or the outro
Yeah, it was
thing.
like hyped up prior to it coming out, and then it came out and it was like suddenly no one cared. So that's pretty cool. But yeah. So anyway.
Damn, Shikimori's mum is a MILF too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about her. She's not really in the show. I think you see her like once in a flashback. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was fun.
That was our Mormon propaganda for the fortnight.
Yep. See you next time with
Sword Art Online
Futurama.
Season 3 with the guns.
No, I tried to come up with another next we'll do the Scientology anime. There we go.
Okay.
Oh yeah. My Hero Academia.
Yeah. Alright, goodbye everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and don't forget, stay Mormon.
Stay Mormon.
God damn it.